Hello, hello. Welcome back. I am so excited to be able to be with you today. My name is Britt Brandon, and I am very excited to be talking on burnout and how we can prevent, treat, and also recover from burnout. And so we're talking about a number of different topics that we're able to use with success in being able to handle burnout healthfully. And so my favorite topic of all time, nutrition, is where we're going to be focusing our efforts today. So in case you're just joining us, my name is Britt Brandon. I have been a health coach for over 22 years. I've worked with over 10,000 clients worldwide. I've published 25 health books. I promise you're in good hands with me. So follow along if you are hoping to be able to treat, prevent, and healthfully recover from burnout in all kinds of healthy ways. As we move through, last time we followed up on fitness. And so we want to be able to make sure that we're not doing anything high intensity, but instead focusing on low intensity exercise that also incorporates mindfulness. And so today we're talking about nutrition. Yay! So nutrition is so important when we are dealing with anything, right? So our bodies literally thrive on whatever we put into them, and they can either, we can either benefit our bodies or we can be providing them with nutrients that are not going to be as helpful. So the way that it's kind of like we set ourselves up for success or for detriment. So when we have nutrition come play a role in anything that we do, and sorry that my handwriting looks like I'm 3 years old in all of these videos. But okay, so nutrition, super key. Okay, so it's 80% of the game in anything that you do. And I know that that sounds absolutely crazy, but I can promise you that it's true. Okay, so whether you're talking about immunity, whether you're talking about stress, right? Because you're talking about oxidative stress, you're talking, and that's like on a cellular level. You're talking about being able to have your moods regulated. That can also be directly associated with food. And then you're talking about fat storage. You're talking about muscle maintenance. You're talking about brain health. Anything that you can possibly even imagine. Even my 4-year-old daughter was misdiagnosed as asthmatic, and she was not asthmatic, she was allergic to gluten and dairy. So food plays a huge role in what your body is experiencing, what your brain is experiencing. And so if you do not want to focus your energy on nutrition, it's kind of like I like to say to my clients, you pick your hard, right? So you can either pick your hard and have it be your focus on nutrition, eating as clean as possible and benefiting your body and brain, or you can pick your hard and stay the same, focus on, just being able to kind of like eat whatever you want, whenever you want, and then still deal with the same cycles of, either not feeling well, not liking how you look, feel, whatever. So pick your hard, right? So my hard that I am definitely going to pick is nutrition. And I am so excited to be able to tell you about it today because it can be so super simple. Okay, so there's going to be 3 things that you want to be focusing on. Okay, so we want to be incorporating lean protein. That's an E, that's an I, and that's an N. Okay. So how do we get this? And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't care who you are. I don't care what you're, other than if you have like a chronic condition that makes it so that protein is not your friend, we need to be having a minimum of 100 grams of protein. And I'm going to be dropping a link in the summary below so that you can actually see what you are supposed to be consuming for calories and for macros every day. Okay, and so you want to make sure that protein is priority numero uno. Okay, so protein is going to be, oh my gosh, I could literally go off on a tangent about protein right now. You absolutely need it. It's required for everything. Every enzymatic reaction throughout your body requires protein, and your muscles need it, and your brain needs it, and your body, like everything about your body. Okay, so we want to be making sure that we get lean protein. You can do this through chicken, eggs, dairy products, nuts, and then if you are vegetarian, you can also do legumes and then soy products as well. So we want to be making sure though that we get adequate amounts of protein, at least a minimum of 100 grams per day. So your body literally will thrive if you can emphasize this. It also keeps you full for a long time, and it makes it so that you're not going to be craving foods that you're choosing out of desperation. Decisions out of desperation are normally as a result of us having low protein. Fun fact. So then moving on, we have complex carbs. Now with the difference between complex carbs, the reason why that sounds like a super fun and complicated term, complex is just literally, it's not simple. So we have simple carbs and we have complex carbs. Complex carbs, best way of thinking about it, complex carbs are from nature. So those are going to be the ones that you find in the ground, pluck off of trees. So grains, fruits, and vegetable and legumes, right? So we have complex carbs, yay. Simple carbs, no. So simple carbs are candies, cakes, refined breads, anything that's going to be, it hits your mouth and literally spikes your sugar super high. So we want to be able to have foods that are going to keep your blood sugar as stable as possible. So complex carbs are the ones that we want to be able to consume as regularly as possible. Fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and legumes, okay? And so we want to be able to make these the star of our carb consumption, okay? So I cannot emphasize this enough that if you can keep your protein high and keep your carbs complex, those two things alone are life-changing, okay? And then we have our last macro, which is fats. Oh, beautiful fats, okay? These poor fats got such a bad rap from the 80s, 90s. I actually remember being 12 and being on my first diet, and I was going down a aisle in Publix and found a box that said fat-free Snackwell's Devil Food cookies. I still remember I remember the color of the box, the shape of the box. I remember everything about it. And I was so excited that I was like, oh my gosh, they're fat-free. I can eat this entire box. Like, let's go. So I remember buying like 2 or 3 boxes. And I'm sure my mom didn't even know what was happening at the time. But and so we got home and I ate like all of them, right? Thinking like, there's no fat in these. How could people ever be fat if this is, if these are available? And so obviously we know that processed foods, they just literally dial things up and down. So if there's no fat, there has to be something else, right? That's going to help it taste good, because fat, salt, and sugar are what make things taste good. So we want to be able to make sure that we have ample fats in our diet, but that they're healthy fats, okay? So these can be oils, these can be nuts, these can be eggs, have a lot of fat in them. And then so please visit my website so that you can get exhaustive lists, because anytime I try to do a list when I'm doing a video, it doesn't work out well. Okay, so anyway, we want to be making sure that we incorporate fats. Fun fact, if you have complex carbs or if you have carbs super low, then your fats need to be up. If you have fats super high, like these are the two that your body uses for energy, so for fuel. And so these are the two that, like, just like those processed foods that they kind of like dial back and forth. If one is high, the other is normally low. And I see this all the time on clients tracking. Like, I can see just from the graphs and grids that show, the percentage of carbs consumed versus the percentage of fats consumed. If you have high on one, normally the other is low, and vice versa. But that's because your body is, if you're trying to keep your carbs low, it's going to be seeking out a source of fuel. And so if you can provide fat, it's no problem. You're not going to be craving carbs. But if you try to do low carbs and low fats, you are going to be in a world of hurt. So one of these needs to be up in order to be able to provide your body with ample amounts of fuel that are needed. Otherwise, it will turn to your muscle for fuel. And that's a whole nother video. Okay, so what we want to be doing in order to be able to optimize our nutrition to prevent burnout is we want to keep these as super clean as possible. Because guess what? We're going back to our blood sugar, right? So our blood sugar is what's going to keep us from crashing and spiking, right? So we want to keep our blood sugar good, but then also we want to optimize system functioning. So I actually have a teaching on this that I did like 3 years ago. And it's so funny because my mom found it on YouTube and she was like, this is amazing. She's my mom, so she thinks anything that I do is amazing. But I will tell you that this is a serious topic of discussion that I wish people were more aware of. Because when you start eating right, when you start eating right with this like clean protein, complex carbs, healthy fats, all with the focus on regulating your blood sugar and keeping this super calm. We want to keep this super calm, right? So we want to, instead of having it up, down, right? So this is bad. This is good. Okay, so we're going to X that out. Okay, so with our focus on optimizing and maintaining a steady blood sugar by consuming lean protein, opting for complex carbs, and incorporating healthy fats, and you want to do this at every meal. Okay, the focus is on keeping our blood sugar normalized, which reduces our stress, right? So we don't have that super high, super low, but we're also optimizing system functioning. And guess what? Your body wants to be well. And so it wants to, instead of having downed dominoes, right? Like that's the thing that I envision when I talk about systems that are stressed, is that we have like one go down and it just spikes like a bunch of dominoes to go down in a series. And the reason why is because your body is an intricate network of systems. And so if you have one go down, it's going to affect so many other ones that it works with on a regular basis. So when we start incorporating things like lean protein, complex carbs, and healthy fats with a focus on eliminating or reducing, I recommend eliminating, but we want to be really, really closely monitoring sugar, processed foods, unhealthy fats and oils, and then also gluten. Okay, so I know that that's like everybody's like, oh no. Okay, but I can promise you it is life-changing. And I can actually like lead you to videos that I'll teach you how to do it so that it's literally painless. So in the meantime though, we're talking about optimizing system functioning, and I can even tell you that, so let's say we start focusing on protein, complex carbs, fats, and start eliminating the alcohol, the sugar, all of the things that are going to be causing an inflammatory response in our body and wreaking havoc. When we start doing that, the first thing that starts to get happy is your gut, right? So the bacteria in your gut starts to be like, yay, so excited. Like we're healthy, we're happy, we're getting to fight the bad bacteria, we're getting to boost the good bacteria. So it starts processing all of these even better, right? So then when you take in lean proteins, complex carbs, and healthy fats, those are from nature, right? So these are mostly whole foods. If you can stick to whole foods, it's a done deal. Like you can absolutely transform your health in a matter of days. And like start seeing and feeling results in a matter of days. But when you start doing these things, your body with the new cleaner gut that's happy and healthy will start looking at foods that you bring in and it recognizes them. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is an apple. I recognize an apple. I know exactly what to do with an apple. So it's like excited to break it down. And then it's like, okay, now we have all of these macronutrients and micronutrients that I just broke this apple down into. What needs it? And so it starts looking around at the systems that are in your body, and it's like, oh, so you get this over here. Our cardiovascular system is going to get this, and our respiratory system is going to get this, and oh, we're going to put some fiber over here for our colon, and all of the systems that your body has that work individually, right, on their own processes, but also together as like a multitude of processes, start benefiting. And like those downed dominoes, they start coming back up one at a time. And it's absolutely incredible how much your gut starts to heal. You start to have cleaner blood, like less clogged arteries. I'm trying to, like I said, it's hard to do like a live and actually get things eloquent, but I digress. So everything starts to improve, right? Brain functioning, you have mental clarity, you stop bloating, you start being able to like function and feel like yourself again. So this is all because your protein, complex carbs, and healthy fats, right, that are good, are working to balance your blood sugar and optimize your system functioning. Yay! So everything starts to benefit. The reason why this helps with burnout is that when you have optimized system functioning, your body is better able to deal with stress. So instead of having that saber-toothed tiger that's coming at you and we're having that prolonged source of stress, not only are we going to be able to better handle, right? Because when you have clearer thought functioning, like mental cognition, we're able to at least identify what is a problem, right? When you have better system functioning, you're better able to sleep, and then you have more mental clarity, energy, and focus, and you can tackle a problem. So do you see how like everything kind of comes together here? So your nutrition is not only going to be able to like fuel your energy, it's going to provide you strength and stamina for your exercise. It's going to be able to, help with mental clarity, focus, follow through. All of these things are going to be able to be optimized, all because you just made some changes to your nutrition. Can you believe it? So just remember that 80% of the game, absolutely, 1000%, nutrition is 80% of the game. There's no denying that. You talk to anybody and they will say, anybody who's in the health and wellness industry is going to say, there's no question about it. What you eat, we know, you are what you eat, right? So just focus your energy here, not just on the fact that you are enduring burnout. So focus on the things that you can control. nutrition being a big one. And I implore you to start making better decisions in terms of what you want your body to feel like. Do you want to be able to help it or hurt it? Do you want to heal it and set it up for success? Or do you want to hurt it and set it up for failure? So these are the things to focus on. And I bet you're going to be seeing and feeling a difference in a matter of days. All right, so signing off. Please stay tuned and join me for all of our future episodes. Bye.